Hi everyone, it's Natalie here, and today I am going to be unboxing the Mahabharata Oracle by Gita Rash. So in my update or what I guess it was my wrap up for the month of June, I mentioned that I would be going forward with Schiffer Publishing and reviewing some of their decks. So I had asked them to just send me a good mix of, the combination of my interests as well as what they're interested in moving forward and promoting right now. And one of the decks that they are most interested in promoting and moving forward is this one. And it is brand new. So it's out this month in July 2020 by Gita Rash. So let's have a look. I've just pulled out my little handy dandy knife here to get into the box. So this should be really exciting. Let me just throw this away. A little trash bag under there. So like a lot of Schiffer box. Oh, maybe not. I thought it was. Yes, it is. Okay, so it's actually the wrong side. It's got a magnetic closure, etc. And I think what we'll do is flip the camera around. So I will see you on the other side of it. Okay, so here we have the Mahabharata Oracle. The Mahabharata is here we go. It's inspired by one of the oldest and greatest epics known to man. The Mahabharata, or the Mahabharata, is the oldest recorded document in existence. It's reflective of human errors and foibles, a triumph of good over evil. And I remember it was a required reading for my yoga teacher training course when I took it. So was the Bhagavad Gita. So this oracle then is based on the Mahabharata. There's Gita. Fascinating. So yeah, this is exactly what's on the Schiffer website about Gita. And then when you go to her website, I thought, oh, I'll go to her website. And there she refers people to a bio, an interview that talks about her life and her experience, which I haven't had a chance to review yet. So this is just my first impressions, everybody. I will ultimately come back to you after I've had a chance to actually work with the Oracle, and we'll read with it and use it and go from there. But basically, it looks like she spent a lot of her life working with psychic gifts. So a big part of what has sparked the desire to create this oracle comes from that. Beautiful, beautiful, packaging, box, first impression of it is really very strong. I do love when oracles are based in something specific like the Mahabharata. And it would seem that Gita is, oh, there's an Om. It would seem that Gita is also from the Indian culture as well, although it's not explicitly stated anywhere. Oh, and it's on the backs of the cards too. That's neat. So, let's see. They've upped their game. Schiffer, you've upped your game here. This is gorgeous, and this is definitely reflective of an improvement in printing practice. This is not the same as opening the Marion anymore, certainly. So we've got 36 cards, gold, gilded, gold edged. The gilding means that it's edged in gold. And this lovely little white book. Yeah, she's dedicated to her father in Rajasham, who was so open and broad-minded enough to encourage me/her to accept and develop my psychic abilities at a very young age. How wonderful. Beautiful. So we've got a lovely table of contents. The cards are numbered and the contents is numbered, so that is great. Makes it easy to get in there. So we have a preface here about her first psychic experiences. which happened when she was 11. Very high priestess there. Wow. So the inspiration for this deck comes from my heritage, of which I'm very proud. The Mahabharata is one of the oldest and greatest epics known to man. There is a discourse within this epic between Krishna and Arjuna called the Bhagavad Gita, which is a text in itself, yeah. The entire epic is vast, deep, wise, and profound and prolific. There exists a wide spectrum of emotions, dualities, miracles, philosophy, and spirituality, and the list goes on, and so forth. So she does then go into this and talks about, recently there's been a renaissance of Vedic astrology and yoga. Yoga is a building block of this story. Karma is an often used word today. A better understanding of this principle is sought in this deck. And meditation is now the norm in our society. This aspect is the supreme action of this epic. Beautiful. Wow. So this is exciting. So we have a deck here by that's about, it's rooted in an Indian text, and it's written by a woman whose culture is also Indian, and that's marvelous. I have not seen much of that, in all truth. That is really exciting. Yeah, and then she talks about different aspects of psychic development. Okay, what to do to get started. And she says familiarize yourself with the cards, which we're about to do. She's got some spreads. Okay. And then she gives us a sense of who the main characters are in this epic story. I love decks based on epic stories, can I just say? And it looks like we've got quite a few here. And then we've got the card meanings. So, wow. Oh, what's this? What's back here? I love this. Okay, that's a card. What do we have? Conclusion, bibliography. And then different card. Oh, wow. So this is a deck comprised. How fabulous. This is a deck comprised of by different artists. So it's a bunch of different artists' work. Wow. That's really cool. Wow. Okay. So there we go. Off to a very auspicious start with that, I should say. So the first card, power, bow and arrow. So I think the power, wow, kind of like being able to shoot in a particular direction. Oh wow, cardstock is gorgeous. It's much more cardboardy and not, there's some kind of schmuck on there. It is not as plasticky as a lot of Schiffer's latest decks that I've opened or worked with, which is interesting. It's more like the Marion cardstock from the second edition, the first version of the second edition that they printed. That's what this cardstock's like. So we have power. Okay, we're carrying that forward here. There's another bow and arrow. So we have then invincible, desire, choice. Wow, you can see the difference in artists immediately. That's so interesting. And we also have then the unifying factor of the frames, which helps. So choice, I'd be curious as to what that means. Shelter. Oh, I love that. Warrior. I wonder if that's Arjuna. Virtue. Preconditions. Nectar. I think nectar is that's a very well, anyway, it's my first impressions. I wonder how if that's connected to certain other practices that I'm aware of. Oh, wow. I wondered where this one was going to come in. Oh, I love that. Loyalty. Yeah, there's nothing more loyal than an elephant. Wow. Okay, victory. Love. Greed. As a Sagittarius, I have to say how much I love the use of all the bows and arrows in this deck. It absolutely it speaks my language with that in that regard. 13 is greed. I'm not sure quite. I mean, there's a reference clearly to this card that I don't understand or have yet. So this will be very fascinating. Expertise. Strength. Intuition. Gratitude. These must be very much connected to the characters in the Mahabharata, because it's hard to get a sense just looking at what or why that means gratitude. I'm just going to take a second here to see if there's something that we're missing. I wondered, I just took a second to look at back at the Getting Started page and see if there's anything I may have missed, you know, kind of wondering if maybe there was something in here that relates a little bit to, you know, maybe using this deck with all of the people cards and the face cards. I mean, I think I would have to in a way. Use it a little bit like a Lenormand or, you know, Kipper, Marseille, something very similar. I don't see that she's not saying to do that anywhere in the book. Okay, balance. Beautiful. I can't help but say I wish I had that kind of a figure. There was a time when I did, a little bit more so than now, but I've always had such a tanky looking chest and kind of a shorter torso, so anyway. Universe, wow, so this is a blue figure. This must be Krishna. And he's carrying a conch shell, so yeah, I'm guessing that's Krishna. Sacrifice looks a little bit like a Viking. I'm probably being thrown off by the beard. Okay, abundance. Is that a little, that's like some kind of a little weasel. How cute. Okay, dedication. Interesting. Adventure. Ooh, wow, ego. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Beauty. Imagination. Okay, so this looks like a Siddha, but the Siddha is blue, so I think we're looking at another godlike character. Interesting. I wasn't expecting to see this. Oh, well, it's just a piece of paper. Okay, gift. That almost looks like a genie. Huh. Wow, patience. Reprisal. Superpower. I'm just looking at his aura, which is really, you know. I know that these are meant to like represent psychological elements. This really, I'll be honest, it really surprises me because I kind of would have expected the artwork to be much more in harmony with the elephant. But you know, this is fascinating. Self-study. Yeah. Justice. Wow, very wise old sage here. Trickster. Oh, he's got dice. Infinity. Oh, I love that. Conch shell. That's beautiful. Wow. Ambition. And impartial. There's some beautiful, as I recall, there's some beautiful stories about being impartial in the different stories within the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita, which I forgot, yeah, is part of the Mahabharata. So let's try a shuffle of these beautiful cards. Let's see if we can get them mixed up pretty good. Ooh, nice. They are kind of stiff, which isn't a bad thing. It's nice. This cardstock is really yummy. I mean, you can just about shuffle it. Let's see. How does it compare? We'll compare it with a standard. Yeah, this one's pretty standard. So they're kind of wide. They're wider and just a little bit taller than a standard tarot card. Yeah, and this is obviously, this came from the Modern Witch deck. So yeah, they're a little bigger. They're a little bigger, but they, you know, if you've got pretty, I've got meat hooks. I say that a lot, but I do have kind of largish hands. But I think for most people to shuffle, you know, to do a riffle, it won't be too bad. We'll try some overhand here in a sec. Yeah, this is very similar. It's not quite as thick. It's a little thicker, rather. It's a little thicker than the Mariel second edition, first printing of the second edition. Okay, so let's try some overhand. Yeah, it's going to overhand beautifully. Okay. Ooh. Already got a couple of jumpers. Let's read our jumpers here and see what they say, unless they're in sequence. They're not. How cool. So we've got gratitude, sacrifice, and justice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm struggling with how that means, like how that relates to gratitude. I know I paused on this one before. It's probably good that it was chosen. I don't understand how that reflects gratitude. So we're going to have, yeah, I'm not sure how I understand how these men represent any of these qualities. Justice, perhaps. So let's just see what she has to say about each of them. So let's look up gratitude first. So number 17. It is easy to find them. Kripa. Okay, Kripa. Let's look up what character that is. Not one I'm familiar with. Or that I remember, one or the other. I don't see. Nope. Okay, let's just see what it says. So Kripa was born under extraordinary circumstances, as he was not gestated in the womb. The son of Shardwana, he was found in a forest along with his twin sister Kripi by King Shantanu, who took them to his palace and raised them there. Shardwana came to know of his children and became a tutor at Shantanu's palace. He taught the children archery, literature, and various other skills, so they became experts in the art of warfare. Thus, Kripa was capable of handling 60,000 warriors simultaneously in the battlefield. Wow, and could devastate the entire army like a blazing fire. Since the Kauravas nurtured him with food and nourishment and provided shelter in the palace, he proved his gratitude to them by lending their troops some time. Interesting. This card indicates displaying an expression of indebtedness, a return of kindness. We can acquire all the things that should make us happy, but unless we feel grateful for being given those things, happiness may elude us. Gratitude has a double blessing. The benefits of thankfulness are far-reaching. Acknowledge the beautiful gifts you have received, the wonderful people in your life, the daily blessings that bring you joy. By expressing gratitude, it replenishes love and attracts more blessings. Receiving kindness, gifts, and favors is a wonderful thing, but it must be accompanied by an expression of gratitude. Okay. Wow. I don't have a background for it. They make reference here immediately to since the Kauravas nurtured him with food and nourishment and provided him shelter in their palace, he proved his gratitude by leading their troops for some time. So we need to know a little bit more, I think, about Shardwana. And we need to know a little bit more about King Shanatu and maybe what their relationship was or what it was like. And I feel like we also then need to know who the Kauravas are. I think it probably needs a larger book. It needs a larger book and some further explanation. Okay, so then let's see. 20 is sacrifice. Again, I'm struggling to understand. Yeah, and we don't see Kripa as one of the, or Kripi, his sister, his sister in here as one of the main characters at the beginning. Which, we just need a lot more understanding of the Mahabharata in order to really get where these characters are coming from. And what they mean. Sacrifice. Bhishma. That was one I thought I saw. Brahma. Bhishma, yes. So Bhishma is half-uncle by marriage of Pandu and Dhritarashtra. Okay. So what does it say? The great uncle of the Pandavas and Kauravas, which I think that's the two fighting clans, or the two warring clans that we see a lot of. So Bhishma, the great uncle of the Pandavas and Kauravas, Bhishma took a lifelong vow of celibacy in order to make way for his father to marry a woman he desired, since the future wife wished her son and no one else to be king. It meant that Bhishma could not have any progeny. Wow, okay. A mighty warrior and strategist, he became a great teacher to both the Pandavas and Kauravas. During the war, although forced to serve the Kauravas and side with them, he was equally fond of the Pandavas and tried to be impartial. Yeah, that's hard. I'm relating to this guy. No kids, trying to be impartial. I get it. Let's see. Full of ancestral wisdom, he was in all circumstances centered calmly within himself when others were agitated. An expert statesman, he was one of the most powerful warriors of his time. A true master of meditation and self-control, he had his finger on the pulse of all events. When a sacrifice is made, it lightens the load of decision-making because the ego is no longer involved for self-satisfaction. The welfare of others is the primary focus. Blessed with a level temperament, he maintained his composure at all times, not giving vent to passion and anger. Like a disciplined ascetic, he bore the loneliness of his sacrifice with great dignity and patience, always striving for noble ideas. This card may indicate a need to make a sacrifice for the greater good in general. Sacrifice may bring rewards or lead to outcomes that serve a higher purpose. You may be going through a period of change or transition. This may signal that a change may be necessary to move forward to open doors that may lead to broader awareness and growth of the soul. So this one feels to me like it's written a lot better somehow, and I don't know, maybe I'm just getting used to the style of the deck. That could be it. Let's see how we get on with Justice. Okay, so this is interesting. So here we have Justice. I have to say I like the art style on this card better than I do on the two previous, but that, again, that's just a taste thing. So this is Vidura, and again we have a second character right away who is not featured in the book at the beginning here in the main characters. So, which makes me curious again why that's there. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's have a look at this one. So Justice, the Prime Minister of the Kuru Kingdom, Vidura, was a half-brother of Dhritarashtra and Pandu, and the uncle of the Pandavas and Kauravas. Noted for his intellect, concern for people's welfare, and meting out of justice, he upheld truth and honesty and was considered as a Dharma Raja, or a Lord of Truth, by Krishna. A highly virtuous man, he was the only elder besides Vikarna who objected to Draupadi's defamation when everyone remained silent. Notably, he was the only neutral man in the Kaurava court. As an upholder of fair judgment and dharma, he is considered the epitome of inner consciousness of the Mahabharata. Okay, that's huge. So, wow, I'm surprised then that he's not, why he's not mentioned here. It seems to me that that would be really important. He was also respected for fighting for noble causes and striving for noble manifestations. This card represents justice of the highest level, an impartial elevation of the situation, and a fair outcome. Highlighting reason, logic, and facts, fairness and equity will be established. Satisfaction is gained. A circumstance or situation you are facing may be decided justly. It also indicates standing up for justice even when no one is on your side. You may be called upon to judge a situation or give your opinion for deciding an outcome. So that's fascinating. So aside from just the challenging, my first impression is that we have a lot of really interesting information about psychic development, which is clearly where Gita Rash has spent a lot of her career. But she, in order to write this, she would also have to really be very familiar with and guided by the Mahabharata. So I'm curious about why there was not further effort made either for her to talk, and include more about it and about some of the references that are in here to these cards for a lengthier guidebook, or maybe like having a basic guidebook like this, but then like a longer one that could be purchased, independently of the deck would be helpful. I think just because I think most readers are not going to be that, especially white readers and readers in the community. Although I could be, a lot of us have done yoga teacher training, but even with my background of Eastern religion, I'm still struggling to make the connections here because, as she mentions in the beginning, the Mahabharata is huge. It's really vast. So, yeah, there's that. But that said, as a first reading from a deck, just shuffling to kind of say, what's this? Okay, I had to pause there because there was a lawnmower with my neighbors here next door. So I can relate to this reading. I mean, if the, in shuffling the deck, for it to just be giving me, sort of a first impression reading, I definitely feel like with the gratitude card, very much like our hero warrior here. I think Kripa was his name. I've been given a lot of advantages and privilege and nourishment and care, from family members and various, some of it's been bestowed by people, and I feel like some of it really has been bestowed sort of by the gods. And although I don't feel like I walk into a battle every day, certainly sometimes day-to-day life can feel that way. And certainly recently I've definitely been feeling a lot of gratitude for everything in my life that's given me the ability to be where I am and do what I do. So, oh boy, we're bringing in the weed whacker now. Hopefully it won't come too close. And similarly with sacrifice, yeah, there were some things I could relate to there, and similarly with justice. So yeah, I can feel a definite resonance with each of the characters of these cards and with their stories. It'll be interesting to work with this deck. It'll definitely be very, very interesting to work with this deck.